Oh man, here we go again. Here we go again. Cosmic Mind UV. It's where you need to be. Make sure you subscribe. 500 followers. Assist me into getting up. 500 subscribers. We're moving. Yo, hold on for a second. If that shit does that shit again. What is that? Yo, 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 yo. Agenda 2030, y'all. Agenda 2030. If you heard about it, great. Not great. If so, great. Maybe you didn't hear maybe you didn't hear in detailed data about it. So let's go through it, see what's going on, see what's flowing on with this. It's always something. We got future shows coming up. You will be graced with the presence of none other than co-host Empress Star. She'll take you far, no matter where you are. She'll be doing the conclusion portion of Agenda 2030 of this show. All right. Once again, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, Sacred Space. Topic: Sacred Woman, Part 1. Coming up with Empress Star. She'll take you far, no matter where you are. She's still seeking consistent hosts and or founders that want to be a part of the Sacred Space project and or build, etc. So make sure you link with her ASAP. Who You With Wednesdays. I'm the co-host for that. That's coming up 9 p.m. Eastern, right through here. And yeah. So Agenda 2030. Let me go share it. We can get right to it. Uh, uh. Yeah. We almost there. We almost there. Make sure you share. Make sure you share this out. Share this out. Share this out. Share this out. We not gonna keep just yelling everything as a conspiracy theory. We gonna get into the knowledge and the facts of what the fuck is going on. And that's what Cozmik MindZ is here for. So we will share it out. We can keep sharing it out. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you donate to the channel. And yeah, make sure you share this where this needs to go. Let's circulate this. Let's circulate the stuff that's actually raw shit. You know what I mean? The actual stuff you need to know. Let's go. Yeah, man. Certain stuff, we not just gonna be able to pray away, or we not just gonna be able to just wait around for the Most High to take care of it and nothing like that, or whatever, Jesus or Buddha. A lot of this stuff is not conspiracy theories. I told you a lot of this stuff is right on YouTube, on the Economic Forum, or the Economic Group. I think that's the name of the two platforms that a lot of this stuff, I guess they call world leaders or whatever, talk about. So I know a lot of us like to write things off to just, it's like a knee-jerk answer to everything. Conspiracy theory, you know, ain't put no real research into it, just conspiracy theory, or that's AI, or, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna go ahead and put some actual research into this so we can actually see what's going on, instead of just saying everything is a conspiracy theory. It's like people just get a hold of words and phrases that they never used before and just run with that shit. Like, most people have never said the word narcissist probably ever in their existence, until like recently, like, like a couple years ago. Or a lot of this shit that people be saying nowadays, yeah. They haven't even really naturally had that in their vocabulary arsenal. Anyway, Agenda 2030, yo. Agenda 2030. What do we have with this Agenda 2030 thing? We got shows coming up on the Golden Dome. We got shows coming up on Voodoo versus Voodoo. We got shows coming up on symptoms of the spiritual awakening. We got the colonial mindset part 1 coming up. Any energy or / energy coming up. What is suffixism? Seals and the chakras. We doing hemispheres of the brain. Well, we did that today. What is Taoism or Buddhism versus Taoism? That's coming up August 14th with Buddha E. That's my special guest coming through to do that. Part 1. We got types of meditation coming up. We got ancestral healing shows coming up. Shows on the multiple brains. We got shows or a show coming up on Superman and white supremacy. We got shows coming up on different forms of fasting. We got shows coming up on the Conqueror Syndrome. We got shows coming up on emotional fatigue. We got shows coming up on black men and breeding farms. We got shows coming up on what is quantum physics, part 1. So we got quite a few things coming through, man. And it's still growing. The list just gets, it just grows. So, yeah. We got a lot of stuff coming through, man. So hopefully you're there to rock out with me and participate, and salute the Emperor Star. Like I said, once again, she'll take you far no matter where you are. Agenda 2030 is a global plan adopted by the United Nations, the UN, in 2015 to address. So this is nothing that's new. This was adopted in 2015. So this something that's been set in place. You know what I mean? Yeah. Address the world's most pressing challenges by the year 2030. It is centered around 17 sustainable development goals, SDGs. That's the abbreviation for it, SDGs, sustainable development goals, that aim to eradicate poverty, protect the planet, and ensure peace and prosperity for all people. Core of Agenda 2030, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. No poverty. End up poverty in all forms everywhere. That's number 1. Number 2, zero hunger. End hunger. Achieve food security. Improve nutrition. So you gotta be really weary of this because it's like they could have been cured or ended all this stuff. So why do you have a special interest now? But anyway, good. All right. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Now, good health and well-being, quality education, and I told you there's a difference between education and knowledge. Gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequality, sustainable cities and communities. We got to do showing them AI cities they got coming, and some countries already got the AI cities running. Climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Number 17, partnership for the goals. Key principles. The Agenda 2030, leave no one behind. Isn't that something? Prioritizes helping the most marginalized, vulnerable, and vulnerable. Global responsibility. Every country developed and developing has a role. Interconnected goals. Each country impacts others. Education helps reduce poverty, so they say. Sustainability, balanced economic growth, environmental protection, and social equity. Criticism of conspiracy theories. While the goals appear noble, Agenda 2030 has faced criticism from those skeptical about global governance and loss of national sovereignty. All right. Conspiracy theorists, because they always, and that's another thing for y'all. Who coined the phrase conspiracy theorists? You know what I mean? We gotta really, we gotta understand the tactics that they use to deter you or distract you or derail you or whatever from the correct data. You feel me? Conspiracy theories claiming it's a hidden plan to control population or natural resources, often without evidence. Which, I mean, oh man, only evidence is centuries of evidence. Anyway, okay, why it matters. Agenda 2030 is an ambitious attempt to reshape global development, environmental stewardship, and equity. It its success depends on the cooperation of governments, businesses, civil society, and everyday people. Agenda 2030 has the potential to either empower or marginalize Black communities depending on how it is implemented. On paper, it promotes global equality and justice. However, in practice, its outcomes often reflect who has power and who is heard. Here's a bust down of what Agenda 2030 could mean for Black people globally, especially in Africa, Americas, and the diaspora. Y'all give me a short commercial break. Okay. Potential opportunities for black communities. Eradicating poverty. Goal one could direct resources and policies toward historically oppressed black communities in Africa, the U.S., Caribbean, and Latin America. May open access to micro funding, land rights, housing, and education. Access to quality education. Goal four. Global education incentives could help close racial and colonial education gaps. Digital learning and tech could become more accessible to black students globally. Five, global goal three, programs targeting maternal health, HIV/AIDS, and preventable diseases could benefit black populations with limited access to healthcare. Goal five, could gender equality could empower black women, especially in Africa and the diaspora context through support for education, entrepreneurship, and legal rights. Goal 8, decent work, economic inclusion programs could focus on black entrepreneurship, fair labor, and access to finance. Justice and institutions. Goal 16 might support reform of bias policing, courts, and prison systems, disproportionately targeting black people. Number two, risk and concerns for black people. Global control and displacement. Land in Africa and the Caribbeans could be co-opted under climate or development goals, e.g., land grabs or quote unquote green projects, end quote. That's how they get you to smart cities, in quote unquote. And urban development may gentrify or displace black and indigenous populations. Loss of sovereignty. Global institutions could override local and cultural decision making, especially in Africa, through IMF, World Bank, or UN influence. That means they coming in to take over shit. Make a bunch of decisions for you. And a lot of people want people to make decisions for them, right? These behind the scenes people. Okay, cultural erasure. Cultural erasure. One size fits all approaches may ignore or overwrite traditional black knowledge systems, spiritual practices, and indigenous governance. Data exploitation. Under the guise of tracking progress, end quote, data on black populations could be harvested without consent, leading to surveillance and profiling, which they do anyway. So it's such a mind fuck. What black communities should do: stay educated and or knowledgeable, understand the 17 goals, what's being implemented in your country and how it affects you. Build local power, push for black-led organizations to take charge of implementing Agenda 2030 locally. Demand accountability, make sure governments don't use the goals as symbolic gestures while continuing systematic racism. Reclaim resources. Use the SDGs to demand reparations, redistribution, and access to capital. Final thought: Agenda 2030 is not neutral. It's a tool. Whether it liberates or exploits black communities depends on who holds the power, who writes the rules, and who benefits, like it's always been. Black people globally must remain vigilant, organized, and proactive to ensure it works in our favor, not against us. Preparing for, how do we prepare for this stuff? Preparing for Agenda 2030 is about empowerment, strategy, and protection. Black people, whether in Africa, the diaspora, or the West, need to move intentionally to avoid being left behind or used under the banner of quote unquote sustainable development. You know, they always have these little catchphrases just so they can come in and fuck you over, ain't it, man? There be some colorful names and shit all the time. Here's a direct, unapologetic blueprint. This is what we should be, somewhat what should be doing or what we should be doing. Here we go. What we got? Okay, reclaim land, culture, and sovereignty. Secure land ownership in rural and urban areas before quote unquote green development, end quote. Because all right now, so if you got land and or you getting land or you already got it or it's passed down, these developers will come in saying, you know, we got a green development project going on. You know how they do. You know what I'm saying? Or smart cities push people out. Secure land ownership in rural and urban areas. And I gotta do a show on a Bill Gates dude too, because he been copping up mad fucking land. But anyway, he been doing that for like the last 2 years now. In rural areas before quote unquote green development or smart cities, end quote, push people out. Protect cultural knowledge, spirituality, and natural medicine from being co-opted or labeled as quote unquote unscientific. Fight back against outside interference, IMF, World Banks, NGOs, telling African or indigenous black people, communities how to live. Build interdependent black economies. Create black-owned businesses in agriculture, energy, finance, health, and education, especially ones rooted in sustainability. Form economic cooperatives and community land trusts to protect from foreign or corporate control. Avoid dependency. Avoid dependency on grants from outside forces. Pushing Agenda 2030 goals with strings attached. Ain't it, man? Educate ourselves and our youth. Teach real history, sovereignty, finance, and critical thinking outside of state-controlled schools. Expose the truth behind globalization and neo-colonialism wrapped in a quote-unquote sustainable cloak, end quote. Skill up in areas like agriculture, coding, water systems, permaculture, decentralized finance, DEFI, and healing arts. Strengthen global black unity. Build African or pan-diaspora networks, African, Caribbean, US, UK, South America, etc. Share resources, knowledge, and strategies without middlemen or external gatekeepers. Support African liberation movements and land back incentives and revolutionary black educators. And support channels like Cozmik Mind UV that's bringing you this type of stuff, man. You know what I mean? Support indigenous or African liberation movements, land back. Oh yeah, we already said that one already. Use SDGs against the system. So you got to use what they doing, you know, what they implement or giving you against them. That's what you got to do. The same way they do against us. It's called exploitation. And good old fashioned pimping. Good old psychological pimping out this whole. Earth. Okay, use the SDGs, sustainable development, whatever, against the system. Leverage the 17 goals to demand reparations, policy reform, and community funding. Call out governments and corporations who claim to support Agenda 2030 while harming black people. Organize around the gaps and hypocrisies in their systems to build parallel institutions. Protect ourselves from surveillance and exploitation. Be cautious of digital ID systems, biometric data collection, and quote unquote safety tech projects in black communities. I'm telling you, they always have some colorful ass names for some shit when they come in to fuck you over. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the most great sounding shit ever. I'm telling you. Guard against the rise of AI policing, health tracking, and education apps that monitor behavior without consent. Build digital sovereignty through open source tech, encrypted tools, use WhatsApp, and interdependent platforms. Bonus mindset. Don't just survive 2030. Don't just survive Agenda 2030, master it, and flip it in our favor. This is not about fear. It's about clarity, readiness, and legacy. The world is moving fast. So I be saying to black people, we the only ones doing line dances and thinking shit is sweet. I don't know why you think it's sweet. And black people must act with strategy, not reaction. Okay. Salute the Empress Star, taking you far no matter where you are. She's about to jump in, give me a small commercial break, and then the next voice you hear will be Empress Star.
Come on, come on, come on back. Welcome back, welcome back. It's Empress Star here to take you far to do part two of the 2030 agenda. Because we are the global, because we are the most affected by global injustice. Black, indigenous, melanated people across the world, Africa and the U.S., the Caribbean, South Africa, face and South America face poverty and land theft, environmental destruction, health disparities, educational neglect, and state violence. Agenda 2030 claims to solve these through the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs. So if we're not at the table, we'll be on the menu. Because it's a goal. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals are the SDGs. So if we're not at the table, we'll be on the menu. Because it's a global system shift, Agenda 2030 isn't just a development plan, it's a blueprint for a new world.
Order.
It's a blueprint for a new world order. In areas like finance, it want to go to a digital currency, cashless systems. Agriculture, agriculture with GMO and corporate control versus food sovereignty. With our education, digital learning versus traditional wisdom. And honestly, homeschooling is the best education system for your children or your star seeds because you can teach them finance, you can teach them culture, you can teach them everything that the Eurocentric institutions will not teach them. And governance, global rules versus local control. If black melanated indigenous copper tone communities don't control how these things are rolled out, we risk being locked out or locked down. Because Africa and the diaspora hold the world's resources. Africa has 90% of the world's platinum, 50% of gold, 30% of rare earths, and vast water and land. Black melanated copper tone indigenous communities in the US, Brazil, and the Caribbean sit on untapped intellectual, spiritual, and cultural wealth. Agenda 2030 makes all this a target for sustainable exploitation unless we claim it first. Because it ties into eugenics, surveillance, and control, some parts of Agenda 2030, especially around population control, biodata, smart tech, eco-colonial science, and control, black, melanated, and indigenous women have historically been tested, sterilized, or used without consent. Climate and health goals could be used to justify control over reproduction, behavior, and movement. We must stay informed, question everything, and protect our communities from digital colonization. Because if we don't act, they'll act for us. Governments, NGOs, and corporations are already deciding what schools our children will attend, what food we can grow or eat, what land we can live on, what health systems we can access. And if we remain passive, we'll be shaped by a global agenda that doesn't know us, love us, or represent us. So, Agenda 2030 is not about fear, it's about power. Black, melanated, copper tone people must rise to global architects, not global subjects. So, Agenda 2030 is a United Nations global plan adopted in 2015 designed to reshape the world by the year 2030 through 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which are known as the SDGs. These goals cover poverty, health, education, equality, climate, action, and more. Why we need to pay attention to this. Agenda 2030 isn't just about charity or progress, it's about who controls the future. For Black, melanated, Indigenous, and copper tone people, we are globally, it represents both. A potential for opportunity to demand reparations, justice, land, and access to resources, or just get our own shit and do our own shit. To close long-standing gaps in health, education, and economics, because we need to educate ourselves and go back to a holistic lifestyle. To build sustainable Black communities rooted in sovereignty. A real threat, if left unchecked, it can be used to exploit us, exploit African land and their minerals, displace Black, Indigenous, copper tone communities in the name of smart cities or climate plans, surveil and control populations through digital systems, which they are really doing now, and global tech. How should we, as melanated Black, copper tone, and Indigenous people, should prepare? The action we should take is secure land, secure our culture, and go back to our spiritual traditions. We need to build black-owned economies, agriculture, and infrastructure. Educate ourselves and our youth in truth, tech, and sovereignty. Unify across the diaspora, Africa, Caribbean, Americas, the UK, and more. We all need to come together as one body, one people, and move as such. Use the SDG language to hold governments accountable. Guard against surveillance, forced data collection, and digital ID systems. So, why is this important now? Because decisions are being made globally that would affect melanated, black, indigenous, and copper toned American lives forever. Because resources identified and sovereignty are being packaged as sustainable development. Because if we don't prepare, we'll be shaped by an agenda we did not design. And look at the agenda before. Look where that has gotten us now. So clearly, we need to be a part of this agenda, or use the agenda to help, so it can work for us and not against us. Agenda 2030 is not for or against us. It's a tool. Black, melanated, indigenous people must learn how to navigate it, flip it, and protect our legacy. This is about your power, not just sustainability. All right. Thanks so much for vibing out with me for a quick little minute. I'm about to go ahead and float on out of here, give it on back to Cozmik Minds UV, where he can take you where that's the place to be.
Yeah, man. I got you. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. No worries. No worries. Gratitude. Gratitude to Empress Stars to take you far no matter where you are. See, look, and another thing we didn't touch on is we keep talking about the children, the star seeds, and generational wealth and cursing thing. Fam, by the time some of y'all children, or them, they, those, us, whoever, children of star seeds get to where they're like 18, 21 or whatever, fam, it's gonna be a whole different like that. Just get a job or what. I mean, I don't know where you are as far as your ideologies with your star seeds or your nephews, nieces, whoever. If you don't have no star seeds, you might be talking to your nephew, your nieces, whatever. You feel me? I'm just saying, it's gonna be way 111 gratitude, way different, fam, way different. So you just putting them in school, fam. Yo, you just putting them in that school shit is not gonna more than likely teach them the things that they're gonna need to know to be competitive. We saying competitive meaning financially competitive, intellectually competitive. You see what I'm saying? Whatever have you in industries, creatively, and different things of that nature. I told y'all once again. I was saying to y'all, look up on YouTube right on here. It's called the Economic Forum. You see what I'm saying? It's called the Economic Forum. And the other one is called, I think, the Economic Group. And they talk about, my apologies. They talk about stuff like this all the time. You feel what I'm saying? And so if we're them, they, those aren't in touch with this type of data, it's gonna get sadder. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, seriously, man. If we, them, they, those are preparing our children on, like, you know, stuff from 1970s or 86, other than like group economics and shit like that, as far as stuff to raise capital, but as far as like just going to school and get a good job and just, you know, stuff like that, fam, who knows if it'll even be schools, you feel what I'm saying, by 2030, as far as the traditional, you know, school bus stop, you know, or whatever, you see what I'm saying? And then who knows what they'll be. They might be FEMA camps. Them shits might be some stuff you might see in a movie. You hear me? Like, you know, how they had locked down in the school and all of that type of stuff. I'm just saying, man. I mean, you have these different entities or different whatever they are, families, entities, whoever, that's making decisions for you. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of melanin, indigenous, copper tone, black people, whatever, still thinking they can vote their way out. They, Jesus their way out. They can most high their way out. They can, you see what I'm saying? And fam, it's got to be made through organized, intentional decisions. You see what I'm saying? A lot of this is the power. I mean, the power of the dollar. Probably by then, the dollar will be way, way weaker. Right now, go look up the potency of the U.S. dollar. How it's declining. I mean, really. I mean, this is not no old be scared. No, this is be aware. This is be aware. You feel me? Go look at the American dollar's decline from 1970 to now. You see what I'm saying? And then what, the projections for the American dollar, in by 2040 or 2030 or whatever. You see what I'm saying? That's gonna tell you a lot. Excuse me. That's why a lot of the times they hype us up on the crypto and the electronic stuff and they don't even make precious metals or gold, or like not gold, but like silver coins and stuff like that no more. Like the silver and the copper and stuff is not even high grade anymore. You know what I mean? What we got comments flying in real quick, and then we're gonna get to these comments and we're gonna get to the rest of it. We're gonna wrap it up. We need to use the 2030 agenda as a tool to help benefit us, or they will use it against us. I mean, simple and plain, like motherfucking Jane, ain't it, man? Mary Jane. We are in dire need for preparation for the near shine. So see, that's what I'm saying. All that little small talking and what you're doing and what's your favorite colors and where you like to eat, and I mean, that's cool. I mean, that ain't nothing wrong with that. However, let's get to what's really going on. You know what I mean? I don't see this talked about enough. I'm telling you, when I do my little peek ins here and there, TikTok, I don't really be on there a lot, but when I peek in through there, man, it's almost like, cause it's like, okay, for example, it's several lives at once going on. Like right as I'm talking, it's like 50, 100 some more lives going on. And it's very few people are talking about the 2030 agenda, and how it affects melanin, indigenous, copper tone people. All of these, think about all of these different agendas from past years. Just look stuff up. Okay, here's a direct, watch this. Here's a direct, no fluff. That means we be getting to it. Bust down of negative effects of Agenda 2030 could have on black people, especially if we are not informed, organized, or in control of how it is implemented. And more than likely, that last part is going to be the problem. Number one, watch this. Here we go. You ready? I'm telling y'all now. So if you got land, if you doing a sovereign community, you doing off grid, you building a black community, you whatever. This is not me undermining. I want a metropolis of black towns and communities to go on. You feel me? However, let's not act like we don't see the pink, blue, orange, lavender, whatever color rhinoceros elephant in the room. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on now. What's the number one thing it's saying that could be implemented is land grabs. Now, I need you to go look up the history on land grabs and forced displacement. Did you hear that? Forced displacement. That means they gonna force you off your land. They go it's the same shit. It's the same ass shit. It be seeming like it's different pimping. It seem like it's different limping. But fam, they just got more modernized with that shit. It is the same ass shit, but now it's just more of a global. You see, when they was in the beginning stages, they had to, conquer motherfuckers and da 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 da. Now it's more modern where it can be sped up way faster. You feel me? It says green, quote unquote, green projects, end quote, could become new colonialism. Ain't that some shit, man? That is some shit, boy. Ooh. Never underestimate the level of this goddamn pimping. Do you hear me? They will use your loving the earth and nature and green. They gonna use that shit against you. Them, they, those, us. Huh? Oh, they want more sustainable green. Okay, we gonna have green projects. Hey, anytime they do goddamn it projects, ain't it, man? God, in African and in the Caribbean, foreign companies. Here we go. Foreign companies and governments may what? Come on, may seize land. Watch it. Here we go. So this is the heads up. This is the don't be surprised when you see videos if some shit come out of nowhere. Oh, somebody getting their land. The shit is going on as I've been, fam. Since I made the last show a couple months ago on black farmers under attack, y'all need to go scroll and look that up on my YouTube page. What was it? Black Towns. What was the joint I did on Black Town? Fam. It is the same shit, man. But now they're just using what? Oh, man. Oh, my fucking raw. I'm just doing my best not to get irritated. Woo. It says companies, it says in Africa and the Caribbean, foreign companies, because see we never know these motherfuckers' name. They just somebody, you hear me? Developers. You hear me? Companies, they don't have no names, you know what I mean? No background, but they just coming out of nowhere. They just coming out of somewhere. They coming from somewhere. But it seems like it's nowhere. And governments may see, ain't no may. You already know what it is. You already know it. They gonna say May. Nigga, they say we ain't talking about May, June, July, this motherfucker. Huh? It say may seize land under the excuse of what? Clean energy farms, quote unquote, solar and wind. If you've traveled from state to state, most times you've seen those big things of land with just solar panels out there, huh? Quote unquote conservation zones, end quote. This how they gonna get you. Oh man, they gonna make it seem like for the nature, but they just want to get you out of there. And or quote unquote carbon credit force. So if they're not gonna hit your ass with the smart city shit, right? If they're not gonna hit your ass with the, let me see, clean energy farm joint, if they're not gonna hit your ass with the conservation zones, if they're not gonna hit you with the fucking you know what I mean, SDGs, whatever variety of that shit, you know what I mean? Man, come on, man. Every time. It's every time. So this is for the people that's already established or getting established with land, with black communities. Just be aware is all I'm saying to you. It's all I'm saying. Be aware who you doing business with. Be aware of who just pop up and just want to do business with you all of a sudden. Be very, very. Now, no people be feel like Cozmik my paranoid, but god damn it, do we not have a right to be goddamn it paranoid with the track record of shit? Fam, when you know, ain't it, man? Where else is there to go when you know? Ain't it, man? It say black farmers and indigenous people may be pushed off their ancestral lands for quote unquote global goals, man. Fam, B, hey, yo, listen. Mm. Oh, you want a better world? You want a better this and that? Guess what we got for you? We got a remix for your motherfucking ass. That's what we got for you. Well, we got a remix for you. God damn. Now people, it's a conspiracy. Keep on saying, yeah. Go ahead and say, keep saying it's a conspiracy theory. Motherfucker, man. So that means people that have you already had land passed down to you from your family and all that shit. Whatever variety of stuff it is, you know what I mean? You've been a farmer for years, and your granddaddy, daddy, grandmama, I'm just telling fam, if you don't use TikTok, I'm just telling you right now, use it for up-to-date current shit that's going on. I'm just telling you. And go to the search box and put in black land under attack right now. That's all you gotta put there. That's all you gotta put in there. Or black farmers under attack right now. That's all you gotta put in there. Okay, we got comments flying through, man. The powers that were are banking on us not being prepared so that they can step in and use that 2030 agenda as a tool to wipe out the economy and make everyone be their what? Chattel. I ain't talking about no cattle. We talking about chattel, baby. Empress Star taking you far no matter where you are. Gratitude for the participation from the nation. We need more participation, y'all. We need more comments. We need more comments from you. We need more activity. You know what I mean? Gratitude for the recent subscriptions. Thanks for the subscribers. Gratitude. The goal is 500. Help us get up to 500. You know what I mean? We need more authentic platforms such as this. And like we said, if you would like to collab, link or whatever have you, do whatever, get your stuff that you got out. You see what I'm saying? Your level of expertise. You feel me? Yeah. We do collaboration for the near shot. But look, watch this. Health and population control in disguise. Now come on, this ain't no surprise. Reproductive rights language can mask old eugenics tactics. Reproduction rights language can mask old eugenics tactics. Global health efforts may push sterilization or birth control aggressively in black communities. So I'm just telling y'all, when you want to be ahead, you gotta come on and get over here to Cozmik Mind UV and get with Empress Star in Sacred Space, all in your face. You hear me? And Who You With Wednesdays, yeah? Use untested medical trials or experiments, especially on African women and children. Ladies, my babies, honey babies. I'm just saying. See, you think motherfuckers is playing. You think them, they, those. You think motherfuckers playing. You think they playing. Aren't we tired of being fucking Petri dish subjects out this motherfucker mind? Introduce quote unquote digital health IDs, end quote, or track systems that violate privacy. What if you take care of your grandmother, your elder, whoever? You better get it. You better make them aware of what's coming. It's all I'm saying. It's all I'm saying. 3, cultural and spiritual erasure. Traditional, indigenous, or African knowledge may be written off as what? Quote unquote unscientific. That's why they always throw this conspiracy theory shit at you, fam. To deter you from processing the data, fam. It's a deterrent. Indigenous healing, farming, and education and or knowledge may be replaced with Western systems. No shit. Rituals, language, and spiritual practices could be, ain't no could be, watch this, could be criminalized or ignored in global policy frameworks. Black ancestral wisdom may be harvested, rebranded, and sold without credit. Like this shit is already happening. Economic exclusion through tech, smart tech, and equal smart exploitation. Now, if they're doing smart cities, you already know it's gonna be for the twos and the fews, B. And even if you got it like that, they not gonna want your ass there. Even if you got it, okay, you got the money, you got the credit, fam. How many of y'all are whitewashed yourself as much as you can wash it, and you still feel that I don't like you and don't want you here and around? Huh? And if I wasn't exploiting you, I'd keep your ass down. Smart tech and equal smart exploitation, quote unquote, digital economy, end quote. Push may leave Black people behind due to this. Is all of the stuff we talking about our youth. They got all of this shit is the stuff that we go, a lot of them, we already the elders, all of us the elders, regardless of what fucking age. I don't really do the age shit, but whatever. When the youth get up to more wise or wisdom, whatever have you, they're gonna be having to face this shit. And so when they're coming to the different, whomever you are, uncle, grandma, granddad, mama, big mama, nana, whoever, they coming to you for advice on this shit, and you just looking like, duh. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck to tell you type shit. So look, it says, lack of infrastructure, gatekeeping by elite institutions, no shit. AI and automation can eliminate jobs in agriculture, manufacturing, and service industries where many Black people work. And then you got to think about it. Go look at Boston. Go look up right on YouTube right now, or whenever you feel like it. Boston Dynamics. They're making a damn robot for every fucking type of job. Any type of fry cooks, fam, warehouse workers, goddamn it, everything. You hear me? Okay. Black labor and innovation may continue to be extracted without wealth sharing, which, 5, surveillance and social control in the name, here we go the pimping. In the name of safety or sustainability, we may be tracked and controlled, which they're doing anyway. Digital ID, facial recognition, some of y'all probably heard of that already, and biometric, which they do that shit on the phones now with a lot of new phones. The biometric, whatever. Data collection will disproportionately target Black populations, especially in Africa, via development deals. See, that's what I'm saying. They gonna come in with the money now. Hey, look, sometimes they gonna come in with that swiller. They gonna cut that. Hey. Inner cities via smart surveillance, which you see all the cameras and shit where you are now. I don't care where you are. You see more cameras. Like, that's what I'm saying. So while we still skipping along and we doing all of this, just whatever you saying is important, whatever we is in conflict and disagreement about that we be feeling like is important, okay, that's cool. But while we doing all that shit, these motherfuckers are just surrounding us with laboratory shit, and we just teacher dish experiments fighting amongst each other. I mean, seriously. In different, was it petri dish, whatever them damn dishes, you know what I'm talking about. Them little small circular scientific dishes and shit they do, stuff in microscopes and all this stuff. You mean police and welfare systems may be digitally tied to compliance with quote unquote global goals. So if you're on welfare or you get some type of benefits, it says digitally tied to compliance with global goals, quote unquote. So if you get a big ass deduction, they're gonna say, hey, it was global goals, your social worker or whoever, hey, because they gonna give them all the script if they work for the damn them, huh? Education that indoctrinates, not liberates, which we already know that shit. Global curriculum. Global curriculum equals global conformity. Local. So basically, this is like a remix of the revamp of the remix of when motherfuckers first colonized. Like they just revamping and remixing every damn thing. Local histories, black revolutionaries, and truth tellers may be erased from education programs designed for quote unquote global citizenship. Indigenous knowledge and radical political education can be removed or devalued. So if we doing a lot of talking online, we got to take that shit offline, fam. I be telling us, a lot of us, that, you know what I mean? We got to build strategically off fucking line, like they be doing. Yeah, they let you know shit after it's done. You not a part of the beginning processes of the meetings and shit. You know what I mean? Or the think tanks, you hear me? The shit is already going on by, you mean? Tech-based quote unquote education for quote unquote all can push UN approved narratives while suppressing black self-determination. 7. Dependence on external aid and NGO control. Foreign run development programs can weaken black self-sufficiency. Agenda 2030 often funds NGOs who speak for communities rather than work with them. Black-led grassroots movements are often overlooked, underfunded, or co-opted. Dependency grows while sovereignty and accountability are stripped away. Bottom line, if we don't control the narrative, we, them, they, those, don't control the narrative and the implementation, Agenda 2030 becomes a digital, economic, and cultural colonizer. So they just doing the digital colonization. We have more comments flying through. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like, subscribe, and share. Gratitude for Empress Star. She's taking you far no matter where you are. Y'all gotta go check out the attack on the sacred wound. Go check out her show she just did a couple of nights ago. Make sure you go check that out. That is part 1. Where all the feminine energies, ladies, babies. Hey, I'm telling you now, it's time to stand the fuck up now. You hear me? I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care where you are. Jesus programming. I don't give a goddamn where you are. Especially you groups. I'm telling you. Black Panthers. Any of y'all. Yo. All of y'all. Them, they, those. It's time to goddamn it get time and space to get shit rolling right now. You feel me? Man. So the 2030 agenda, do more research on it. Look more stuff up. Go check out the economic forum and the economic group. Go check those pages out whenever you feel like it. Go check out Boston Dynamics. You feel me? How they're making a bunch of different AI robots pretty much for every fucking thing. And make sure you check out Sacred Space tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, with Empress Star taking you far no matter where you are. Ladies, she needs you to come through and link up so she can go ahead and build that platform up as fast as possible. That needs to go out. This is vital data. It's now. You know what I'm saying? We can plan and adapt as we go along. You see what I'm saying? Also, Who You With Wednesdays coming up. I'm the co-host of that this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you slide through and make it do what it do. And guess what? Cozmik my UV.